Oh, hey guys! Can't be a video of mine without some form of drink, That one's later. That's very much needed today. Got 4 hours sleep? Wasn't ready to deal with any traffic today. But it's been pretty easy. I'm over here on Lodi getting loaded with, I guess, canned vegetables. Or canned something. I mean, it's either vegetables or fruit. Because it is a produce place that only does cans. Well, I guess they could do jars too, but they're a dry produce place. I mean, they go in a box. No reefer. I had a video already made before this one. Then some things changed. I was like, well, that video's now getting deleted because 30% of that video just became instantly fucking nonsense. I was like, well, great. Thanks, news. But I figured I could make a video about something else that did happen. That's over now, thankfully. But it had happened, so it's content. Fuck. It was right around the time I made the video about the cat, the 1-year anniversary videos, right? This what's today? Someday in middle of February. I don't remember exactly the date. I think it's the 15th, 16th. Anyways. February 6th. I wake up to the cat having an episode. The crystals came back. And he was he didn't plug up. He was half plugged. But it wasn't a full block. So what happened? Because it was good for what? 10 months or some change. Well, he saw the vet in August. And the vet's like, we're gonna keep on the same food, but we're gonna switch him to that food that was stress management. And I was like, okay. But I had just bought months of supply. I just stocked this food up. And the vet's like, that's fine, just switch over when you run out. I was like, okay, I can do that. Well, that happened to be the start of January, so like I said, I had just stocked up. Start of January, I switched over. Okay, sorry. Got it. I had to read a text that was coming across sideways. But started January, switched them over. But about 5 weeks later, because it takes a few weeks to get the old food out of the system and the new food processed into a system and then to take over. About 5 weeks later, about January 6th, boom, wake up to it. And I was like, what the fuck? And it was nowhere near as bad as it was before. Nowhere near. Night and day difference. It was like black and white, whatever other metaphors you want to use. But let's start. Day one. It's cherry Kool-Aid. It's a lot of dripping. But he's I don't know. Marble size is about all he can really output. It's just in one go. It's about the size of a marble. But it's very red, very pink. He's not making a mess all over the truck though. I was like, okay, I can deal with this as long as it stays like this. Let him flush through the system. Side note, throughout this week, I was thinking what could have caused this? Because he was so good, and it's the first couple of days, but he was so good. All of a sudden, boom. Vet and I agree that it was probably the food. I was the one who come up with it, saying that's the only thing that's changed. He's been good for months, so it's what else could have caused it? And they agreed to me that it was probably the food. Which that would be backed up. My point will be proven here soon. But day one, he was acting fine. He had no problem jumping around. He was still eating, still talking, still acting normal. He even jumped up from the floor to the dash on the truck, which he flat out refused to do. Even jump around, period. Last year, if he was really hurting, especially since it's all in the intestine area. Jumping puts a lot of force on that. He uses a lot of muscles in that area. He would not be doing that. Especially going from the floor up to a dash. That's a pretty big jump. That's like 3 feet. But he no problem. Cat. He's just sleeping right here in this box on his feet. Day 2, bit more change. From day 1, day 2 though, I saw like his output was slowly getting bigger and bigger. And from day 1, I started as soon as I saw this issue, I pretty much moved him only to wet food diet, and with a little bit of water in the bottom. Just like he didn't really drink a lot of water, mostly because I was giving him a lot of wet canned food. I was always eating, but it was almost like a 1-to-1 input to output ratio day by day. Now day 2, a little bit of downward trend. Behavior was still the same, but output was going, like from a day to day, was getting larger and larger. The output in one go. It was going between like Marvel, the like golf ball. We got a couple golf ball sizes, but day 2, he started dripping blood, started leaking blood all over the truck. I mean, it wasn't like it was last year. It was more like just small spots, which was really annoying because it wasn't like so much like it was non-stop. Like it would come and go. So I was like, is this gonna stay like this? Do I need to like trash bag the truck again? Meaning put trash bags over everything. Cause I'm not so worried about the floor. I clean the floor up. I was doing that every day, just cleaning the floor. Or well, that day throughout the day, just mopping the floor up. Day 3, we're starting to get larger outputs again. I mean, they're gradual. I mean, but it was starting to be way less marble size, more average, about golf ball or pretty close to golf ball size. I mean, he was still, throughout all the days, he was dumping stones. Like the crystals, they were just all over. But his output was starting to get more and more. So I was like, okay, we're making progress. As long as he doesn't plug up. The plug up is what's going to ruin all this progress. I'll call him in a minute. I had a feeling though, based off how I was projecting, there we go. I don't know why I kept saying projecting, is this might be around for a week, maybe a little bit longer. But I was like, okay, no problem, as long as he doesn't plug. Into day 3, I'm starting to see less stones on the floor, way less stones. The blood is starting to cut, like the leaking of blood starting to really fall back. It's very minimal. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. But it's still there. But it's not like every time you'd go, like pretty much he'd always be bleeding coming out of the litter box, and he would just drip because he doesn't realize that he's going. It was like that. He didn't even realize he's dripping until he lays down. Then he feels it in his fur, and he's like, "Oh, I'm dripping," and starts licking it up, right? But into day 3, going to day 4, I saw the blood getting less and less. It was still there, but it was less. Like it wasn't every time he get in the litter box. It was like after like 6 hours, it was like once. Day 4, now it's Thursday, right? Started Monday, now it's Thursday. I have noticed almost 0 crystals on the floor. Like there's a little bit, but almost it is like I had to really look. Oh, I forgot to mention. Day 1, no pain. Day 2, one cry of pain, and it lasted like 10 seconds. Okay, so day 1 there was one grunt of pain. It wasn't the blood curdling scream like he did last time. Like he was really hurting. Like it was just like, fuck, get out, you know. But it was discomfort pain, not like, oh my god, this fucking hurts. Day 2, there was about a 3-second stretch of pain cry, but it wasn't like it was last year. Like you could tell he was hurting, but it wasn't anywhere like it was last year, where you could just hear it in his voice. Like it's like, you know, there's nothing you do. Now day 3, nothing. There was no pain, nothing. Day 4, now we've started to have some real large releases. Day 3, at the end of day 3, had a couple like bursts of streams, and that stream's what we want, not the drips or even the fast drips. It's that burst of stream. That's the sign you want. So now it's day 4, right? Sorry, I forget a few things, so I'm gonna go back. So day 4 is Thursday. We're starting to have fast drips, golf ball to baseball size. So it's like I had like one baseball size release, a lot of golf balls, slightly larger. I don't think baseball's the right size, but whatever. I mean, you can go. Fuck it. Little cutie fruits, so little fucking mandarin oranges. There we go. Because they're big on baseball or golf ball, but there you go. Let's use that one. Because really, a cat bladder is about the size of a baseball and full, so mandarin orange probably the best reference. He had like one or two of those. It was like definitely at least one. Most of golf ball sizes. With some audible streams. Like I heard the audible fucking stream once. But it was a lot of drips, a lot of like bursts of stream. The audible stream, that was a good one. Like that was that largest release. So I mean that was unrestricted flow for about 4 to 5 seconds. Just unrestricted. Was it day 5? Now it's Friday. Almost all the crystals on the floor are gone. Like I mean, there might be 1 or 2 left on the floor. Like I've been sweeping every day. Emptying litter boxes. I've been monitoring it. Hardly anything falling out of him. Like the first 3 days, he's walking, they literally fall out of him, and fall off him. Like that's how much he was dumping. But day 5, so now it's Friday. Yeah, I'm like, we're getting close here. I know we're getting extremely close. But day 5, we're more at like mandarin size releases. Each day, also, he's gotten to litter boxes less and less and less, which is a good sign. Especially as the output is increasing, because that means he's not having to feel like he has to go and strain constantly. So it means he's getting more and more unrestricted flow. And I mean, I was giving him like 2 to 3 cans a day. So I mean, I was literally shoving food into him. Shoving food so much into him, the wet cat food. He wasn't able to finish all of it in one sitting. And he was also already starting to get bored of it towards the end, where he started literally choosing to go eat dry food. That's why I use these cans as treats. As his ears perk up, he's like, I heard the C word. Huh. You want treats? Oh, I made you itch. Give you the scratch. Not much really to say about day 5. Other than the end of day 5, he had like this final hurrah, like of the stones, the crystals. It was like very into day 5 was like a little grunt of pain. It was like literally like he was pushing one out, and yeah, that's what he was. It was like a really pretty decently sized one. I mean, they were individual pieces, so no clumping. There was 0 clumping at all through this. It's just each piece. Some of them were sharp, had sharp corners and stuff. He pushed one out at the very end. I mean, it was very tiny, very tiny. But I rubbed through my fingers, and yeah, it wasn't like pointy, but it was like, it reminded me of like a broken up Dorito chip, like corner or something. So rounded off corner, but pointy enough where yeah, it could hurt. Especially when the last couple of days, like from end of Wednesday into Friday, he started having coagulated blood. So I knew he was trying to heal too. Yeah, that was real the last thing. We need that wound to actually stay coagulated and heal up. At least stop dumping blood and getting irritated and rubbed on. But that one last piece at the very end seemed to be the last one, and like he grunted it out, like it was like as he pushed it out. Like I don't know, like I can't mimic a cat, but you see what I'm saying. But yeah, I came out covered in like coagulated blood. After that, I mean, we're into Saturday, and we have unrestricted flow. I washed. He went to the litter box 3 times. Unrestricted. And you can instantly just tell how much better he felt Saturday. Just like, he's like, for the first 4 days getting the litter box, he had that look. Like, he was so fucking annoyed. He's like, again, this shit, gotta fucking do a 40th million trip into the litter box. Why? Why me? He did a lot of resting, though, from Thursday through Friday. Like, not lethargic like he was last year, but just a lot of sleeping, like normal sleep. The first 3 days, he didn't really want to lay down. He spent a lot of time in his bed up on the fridge, which he ruined his box because, you know, he leaked quite a bit in there. I tried saving as much as I could by putting paper towels under him and changing those out daily, just so paper towels absorb it. He's snoring. Hi, kitty. But yeah, now he gets to go home and see the vet. We're going to do a urine test and a blood sample. Blood work and urine sample. So I know he's out of it. Like, it lasted a whole whopping, 5 days? 6 days? Yeah, technically 6. He was out of it Saturday morning, but I'm going to count all Saturday because, like, just as a make sure day. But it was Monday to Saturday. And it was much easier for me to deal with because I was like, I had to go back to driving down the road, and until we get the litter box, I had to make sure to fucking check to see what he was especially before you could try to bury it. So that was challenging sometimes. He had no interest in hiding, except for like Wednesday. He tried hiding like 3 times. He got underneath the blanket a couple of times, and I was not repeating that mess again. Like, I don't care if you go all over the blanket. I always wash it, but I'm not getting my mattress ruined again. Or like, cause he made a mess on the blanket. Not a lot, just spots. And I was doing my best to spot clean, but you can't get that smell out really until you wash it. But it was so much easier. Like, for example, put this in perspective. Last year it took 5 weeks, including a week in the hospital, and then 4 preceding weeks. So it was because he started from 0, meaning he had to get unplugged in the hospital, say unplugged in the truck long enough, eat the food, get the food getting to his system, which takes a couple weeks to even get going, and then if he's got to get the system start dissolving the stones, breaking the clumps down, and then he has to piss them out, and then not replug. So yeah, it was a long process, which a lot of luck involved. This one was all really our doing, just because we switched his food. The vet literally said, if I didn't run out, she's like, just put him back on his old food. I was like, yeah, I was out, because I was like, this is literally the same brand, same food, the only difference is stress management. And it's like, everything else is the same. Which, I don't know why, what exactly was the issue with the food, but yeah. So he gets to go home, see the vet, and he's going to be thrilled. I mean, it's not too bad. It's going to be like $300 and something for me between the 2 tests. I got to order more wet cat food when I'm home. Cause I ordered like 50 cans, and I got like 10 left, 9 left. That's all because of that week. That week went through like half of that by itself. Because like I said, I was literally shoving cans of food into him. But he's good. He's still fatty. Let's see this. Let's say hi. Hold on. You gonna say hi? Yeah, I know. I don't got steady hands. But he's good. It disturbed his sleep, so it's like I was a sleeping asshole. But anyways, you guys stay safe out there. Catch you next time. Bye!